high-tech camera cops on I-380 can make your commute to Kirkwood more expensive than in the past.
Kirkwood tackles the job of renovating the oldest and largest building on the main campus. We'll find out what that will involve.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Stacey Voss. Those stories plus campus plans for helping others this holiday season. KSP News starts now.
Now, from the campus of Kirkwood Community College, this is KSP News.
Speed traps staffed by police on Interstate 380 are a thing of the past, thanks to the controversial speed cameras that have gone up this year.
For many students and faculty, the daily commute includes a stretch of the highway, and the cameras have made that commute more expensive. KSP's Tyler Loring reports.
Traffic cameras in Cedar Rapids are gradually changing driver behavior on the road.
When the cameras were installed to begin with, we never ever dreamed that there was such a speeding problem.
The cameras target both speeding on Interstate 380 and red light violations on some city streets. Since installation in March, the 10 traffic cameras have issued over 38,000 tickets worth nearly $1 million. Most tickets are for $75. Violators receive the ticket in the mail within a week to 10 days following the citation. Cameras have become controversial in some cities, but police spokeswoman Christy Hamlin says they're justified.
One of the things that people are saying as well is that this is an invasion of their privacy, which is bogus. You're driving on the interstate, you're driving on a public road, your plate is open to the public.
Justified or not, the traffic cameras have made the drive to classes tougher for some students.
Oh, I used to drive to work on I-380, and they put the speed cameras up there, and they caught me 3 different times. I got 2 warnings and 1 ticket, going 78 and a 65, and the worst was an 81 and a 65. And my fine was $75.
Cedar Rapids is one of the few cities that offers 3 ways to appeal the ticket.
You have the opportunity, one of 3 ways to pay for that violation or to contest it. You can pay for it online. You get to view your video of your violation. So you can pay it online. You can appeal it through our appeals process, which most cities don't have. So we allow you to come in and talk to an independent citizen in Cedar Rapids, explain your case. They can either dismiss it or find you guilty of it. And if you're still unhappy, you can take it to the district court.
Tyler Loring, KSP News.
In some states, the issue of camera tickets have been put up for a vote. In Houston, voters decided to take down the speed cameras.
Construction is nothing new to Kirkwood, and it won't be ending anytime soon. Kirkwood's largest and oldest building is up for remodeling. It will be the largest remodeling project in the school's history. KSP's Kelsey Jones reports on this massive effort.
Lynn Hall is not only the biggest building on campus, but was the first permanent building on campus. The building was completed in 1969 and was built by 2 separate contractors who met in the middle in order to get the job done faster. We talked with Ruth Sinkson, who was here when Lynn Hall was first built, and asked her what she remembers about the original building.
Well, it was exciting to have everything together because not only were there the East Campus buildings, but from Hawkeye Plaza, where some of the classes were, it also brought together the floriculture and horticulture, which had been off campus at a different site. So those programs all came together into one building.
The remodeling of Lynn Hall will be the biggest remodel Kirkwood has ever done. Executive Director of Facilities Tom Kaldenberg tells us why.
It's a big building. It's 200,000 square feet. Like I said, it's built a long time ago, so there's a lot of things that need upgraded. All the electrical, all the plumbing, all the mechanical systems for the HVAC, the infrastructure for telecommunications to be able to support the number of computers that are in the building properly. So it's just a lot of things that have to be managed.
Because classes will be going on during the remodel, we asked Tom Kaldenberg what students and staff can expect during the process.
They can expect that there will be some minor disruptions. They may have to go a little bit out of their way to get from one point of the building to the other, but we're going to try to keep passageways open in the interior to keep people from having to go outside to get from one end of the building to the other. We will do power outages and water outages like that at times when the building's unoccupied.
Tom Kaldenberg says that when the remodel is finished, it will be a world-class facility that will be not only great to teach in, but also to learn in. Kelsey Jones, KSP News.
The project will start this summer with some changes to the outside of the building, and the total remodel is expected to be completed by the year of 2014.
Expansion of Johnson Hall is right on schedule. That's according to the Executive Director of Facilities, Tom Kaldenberg. The addition to the building should be finished in March. At that time, the offices will move temporarily into the addition while they remodel the offices and entryway into Johnson Hall. Over the summer, the gym floor will be replaced and the whole project will be completed by August of 2011.
People who like to pick up coffee or a smoothie at the C-Store will have to change habits. That's because the C-Store will be moving to Iowa Hall in August of next year. Sammy's Cafe, which is already in Iowa Hall, will be moving into the area that used to house the culinary arts program. The current Sammy's will become extra dining space. Tom Kaldenberg is the Executive Director of Facilities. He says the C-Store location will be converted into an electronics store that will sell laptops and other school-related electronics for students.
No one likes to be sick, but cold and flu symptoms can make the winter months unbearable.
With finals coming up and exhaustion taking over, it is tougher to stay healthy this time of year. KSP's Vicki Decker tells us how you can avoid getting sick.
A person coughs in their hand. They touch the keyboard in a college computer lab. Someone else walks by, touches the keyboard, then rubs their eye. Catching the common cold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. The cold and flu are both contagious, and they have similar symptoms. But how do you know which one you have? Kim Pritz, head nurse at Campus Health, says there is one major difference.
A lot of times people have a problem deciding, do I have a cold or do I have a flu? And one of the biggest symptoms that differs that is a fever.
With symptoms ranging from a sore throat to a runny nose, the common cold is no stranger to us. But flu symptoms are a little more severe with body aches, fatigue, and a fever. If you are experiencing cold and flu symptoms, there are certain precautions you must take in order to avoid spreading the illness.
Once you get a cold for the first 3 days, you're contagious. And for the flu, if you have a fever, you need to stay away from other individuals for 24 hours after you have a fever.
If you have a fever, Pritz recommends over-the-counter medications like Tylenol. She also recommends that people with colds cover their mouths with their elbows rather than their hands to avoid spreading germs. And there are ways to avoid the flu.
The best way to prevent the flu is to get your flu shot. The second best way is hand washing.
If you are suffering from cold and flu symptoms, the best way to get better is to get plenty of rest, fluids, and eat better. Vicki Decker, KSP News.
Besides notifying employers, make sure you notify your instructors as well if the cold or flu prevents you from coming to class.
Coming up on KSP News, a regional championship for the Eagle volleyball team. We'll hear from the coach and the players.
But first, our Kirkwood Career Fair brings scores of companies to campus. You're watching news on the Kirkwood channel.
Is that thing getting closer? Look how high that thing's going. Look out there, look at the debris.
Give me the camera.
No, just drive, I've got it.
Zoom in, zoom in.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, the size of that thing.
It's everywhere.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I've got it. What was that?
It's the National Guard.
How'd they get here so fast?
I don't know.
Pull over! Pull over!
Do you have what it takes to head into the heart of the storm? Check out NationalGuard.com.
Apartment living. You share the space. Be respectful.
The hotel at Kirkwood Center is officially open for business, where students learn the hospitality management industry from a professional staff. The hotel has 71 rooms and 6 suites. It also includes the Class Act restaurant, where culinary arts students and restaurant management students learn their trade. As General Manager Lee Belfield said, our mission is to produce graduates who will lead our industry over time around the globe. The hotel at Kirkwood Center is located on the south side of campus. Be sure to check it out.
With a quiet location, beautiful architecture, and peaceful setting, the Iowa City Kirkwood campus is the place to be. Located across the street from historic Sycamore Mall, the Iowa City campus is a comfortable and convenient location for any student wishing to further their education. More than 3,500 students attend the campus, and that number is steadily growing. For more information on classes offered at the Iowa City campus, call 319-887-3658.
Work-study programs can be a great way for students to live on campus to make money without having to travel to and from a job. KSP's Misha Koger tells us more.
So you're in college and looking for a job. Kirkwood Community College has a work-study program for students who qualify. Bobby Haggis, Student Services Director, tells more.
To qualify for work-study, as I mentioned, you need to complete the FAFSA. There is a question on the FAFSA form that asks if you are interested in college work-study. And then what we do every year is we are able to pull a specific number based on when you complete your FAFSA. We pull those students and then we are able to award them work-study.
Though a student may qualify for work-study, they have certain requirements that need to be followed.
At least enrolled half-time, is not put on financial aid suspension, does not graduate from Kirkwood, or completely withdraw from their classes. And in the event that one of those would take place, unfortunately the student would not be eligible for work-study.
Work-study student Sarah Notchman works in the College Tutoring Center.
They come in and ask for a tutor for a certain class, and I will look in our database for the tutor that teaches that class, and then I will assign them to that tutor.
If a student doesn't qualify for work-study, there are alternative jobs that student can apply for.
What we do is we refer them to our jobs website, which is part of College Central, and it's ran through our Career Services Department here on campus, www.kirkwood.edu/jobs. And they can go to that website, complete a login, and review jobs that employers off campus post for our Kirkwood students.
Misha Koger, KSP News.
Students interested in the work-study program at Kirkwood can contact Student Services Office on the first floor of Iowa Hall or at 319-398-4952.
January 10th will start the 2011 spring semester at Kirkwood, and registration is already underway. Early registration started on November 8th for anyone with 100 credits or more, and gradually included first-time students by November 15th. Open registration officially began on November 16th. If you haven't already registered for your classes, contact your program's advisor. You can also sign up on Kirkwood's EagleNet to find out more information on what classes are available. From glass blowing to bubble blowing and a career fair, Kirkwood's campus is always buzzing with activity. KSP's Tim Williams shows you some of the things that are happening across campus.
Iowa Hall was the site of a job fair on November 9th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There were 60 employers signed up to attend from fields such as law enforcement, computer programming, construction, medical fields, and everything in between. Employers included local companies such as McGrath Auto and CRST, regional companies such as Mediacom and Alliant Energy, and also larger companies were represented such as Geico and GoDaddy. Kirkwood's career fairs are open to anyone in the community, and all of the employers who attended had openings within their company. The Iowa Hall Gallery housed a blown glass exhibit showcasing the work of Edward T. Schmidt. The exhibit was on display from October 18th through November 5th, and a reception was held on October 21st. The exhibit showcased vases, sculptures, and wall decorations, as well as a display of the Dr. Seuss favorite, Green Eggs and Ham. Based on the numbers, Kirkwood may have a world record. As part of the Dig Pink program to raise funds for breast cancer awareness, a world record was attempted for the most people blowing bubblegum bubbles. Kirkwood Student Life wanted 250 participants, and the bubbles needed to be held for 30 seconds. The count turned out to be just over 300. The event was held between women's volleyball games on October 27th. No one from the Guinness Book of World Records was on site that day, so pictures and information have been submitted, and it is expected to take 3 to 5 months to receive the official results. Tim Williams with Cross Campus KSP News.
Up next in sports, Kirkwood's volleyball team wins regionals and heads for the Wisconsin Dells. We'll have an update.
And national preseason rankings for both Eagle basketball teams. Sports is next.
help keep yourself and others alive, don't drink and drive.
Everybody can help by picking up their trash, and please do your part and recycle.
The Eagles head for the National Volleyball Tournament.
And basketball gets underway. Matt Pearson joins us with sports.
Thanks. Kirkwood volleyball team is making an appearance to the national tournament for the first time in a number of years. That after winning regional tournament with a 3-game sweep of Ellsworth Community College. KSP's Garrett was at the tournament and has our report.
The Kirkwood volleyball team won the Region 11A on Saturday, November 6th, to send them to the national championships in the Wisconsin Dells November 18th through the 20th. This is the first time since 2003 that they have made it, and head coach Jill Williams talks about the roles her sophomores played in the regional championship.
Just huge. From leadership to just the experience. Last night I kind of teased them because really game one it was the freshmen that got us on a roll and got us off on a, it seems like it's an every year thing. The sophomores kind of come out and they're just not really ready to go. Well, I can tell you what, this afternoon, our sophomores were ready to go. The sophomores were making things happen. The freshmen got on board with it, and they just kind of rolled along with it.
Sophomore middle blocker Jordan Brackey told me how this game against Ellsworth was different than when these two teams met earlier in the season.
This time when we played them, we had a national championship riding on our hands. Our intensity level was way higher this time. We just knew there was more at stake, and there was greater rewards at the end of the game. So we played with that more intensity, and we played more as a team this time too.
Sophomore outside hitter Shanna Getkin tells me when her and the rest of the team knew this was going to be a special year and that they could get to the national tournament.
Well, like you said, we had 7 sophomores coming back. It all started in preseason. We worked hard. We got up early in the morning, and we put in the time to make this a great program. So like I said, it started in preseason, and as the year went on, we got better, and we came together as a team, and you saw that on the floor tonight.
Jill Williams is in her 6th season at Kirkwood and is heading to the national tournament for the first time in her coaching career at Kirkwood and talks about all of the emotions going on.
It's huge. It's huge. I think that we've had some good teams and we've been right there, and nobody likes to say this. We've lost several matches in 5 and we've gone down swinging, and to come out here today and win it in 3, you know what, there was no indecisiveness. We took care of business and we got ourselves where we need to be.
Thanks, Coach.
The Kirkwood volleyball team is heading back to the national tournament after having a 6-year layoff and are looking to make a lot of noise going into the Wisconsin Dells with a 30-12 record. Garrett Canuck, KSP Sports.
Kirkwood's basketball team started off their season nationally ranked. We have 2 reports, starting with the men. The Kirkwood men are ranked number 4 in the nation and started the season off with a blowout victory, 89-49 over Grandview University. They went 1-1 in the John Wood Classic November 5th and 6th. At 2-1, the Eagles returned home to play Marshalltown Community College November 9th. Last year, Kirkwood won on last-second free throws, and this year did not disappoint. Kirkwood started off very hot, going on an 8-2 run to start the game, and stayed that way for most of the first half. A 3-ball here by Michael Weber. And later on, another 3-ball there by Alex Coleman, which gave the Eagles a 40-33 lead going into the halftime break. Coach Wagemeister had to make a few adjustments in the second half. Kirkwood started off very slow as Marshalltown went on a 9-0 run to start the second half. But the Eagles fought back with a great play by Brandon Kugel under the basket. And another big 3-ball by Michael Weber, which tied the game up at 44 apiece. And then 2 big and 1 opportunities by Troy Peters and DeMonte Hopkins, and the Eagles were right back in the game. Marshalltown would hang around the whole game with 2 big-time dunks by Tyler Brown, who led the way for Marshalltown with 36 points. This game came down to the final seconds, but with free throws down the stretch, it gave Kirkwood a 4-point lead. Marshalltown hit a buzzer-beater 3-pointer from half court, but it was not enough as Kirkwood held on for the 82-81 victory to raise their record to 3-1. Brendan Kugel led the way with 22 points and 8 rebounds. Lewis Cox, Michael Weber, and Alex Coleman all ended up in double digits as well for the Eagles. The Eagle women were ranked first in the national preseason polls. They are also the defending national champs. KSP's Kyle Jacobs caught up with one of the returning players and has our report.
From the early scrimmages to the national championship, it's a long journey. There's even more pressure when you're trying to do it for the 5th year in a row. No one knows better what that journey is like from a player's point of view than the sophomore leadership. Among those sophomores is Taylor Smith. She remembers the championship last year, but knows there is hard work ahead.
I would say we have posts returning, whereas last year we had a lot more guards that return. So having the guards step up and play, and then we have like Rachel and Ashley who returned, who has post experience. So I'd say getting the guards in routine.
Part of sophomore leadership is helping along the first-year players on the team.
I would say we just need to be consistent. We're struggling right now being consistent, but I would say mainly working as a team and getting to know each other and getting to know how each other plays.
At news time, they are off to an undefeated start, but there is plenty of season left for the Eagles. Kyle Jacobs, KSP Sports.
That's it for sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. Before we close, the holidays are fast approaching and everybody can pitch in to make the holidays brighter for others.
We'll show you one way when we come back. You're watching news from Kirkwood Student Productions.
I'm Rachel Remick. I'm a sophomore at Kirkwood and I play forward for the basketball team. On a Monday morning, I usually wake up about 8 o'clock, get up, take a shower, get cleaned up. I'll eat breakfast, do a little extra studying if I have to. I'm out the door by 9:15 for my first class at 9, which is animal nutrition in Washington Hall. And then I have biology class in Lynn Hall at 10, and then I have a break from 11 to 12, which I do biology homework, math homework, and then from 12 to 1 I have algebra, and then after that I go home and eat lunch. And then usually we have to either be at the gym at 3 or 5 depending on what day we have practice, and then some days we'll lift, and the days that we don't I usually go home, eat supper, do homework, hang out with the team, go to bed by 10:30 and do it all over the next day. Probably when we travel a lot, we miss class, tests, we have to make up, we have to do studying on the bus, it's loud, studying in hotels, also get prepared for the games. So falling back behind on homework is probably the biggest problem. We do a lot of stuff with the team. If we're in a hotel, we usually try to stay away from each other because we're together all the time, usually try to go with our families. But when we're back on campus, we enjoy going out together, we enjoy going to supper. We hang out with some of the men's players. There's softball players and baseball players. I mean, we usually mingle pretty well. We meet kids in class that we hang out with. But usually we spend a lot of time together. I mean, we get pretty close, so that's where our friendships come from.
Hit it, hit it, hit it.
The holidays are quickly approaching and many children don't have the joy of opening a present on Christmas. But Kirkwood students and staff are doing the best to help.
KSP's Mallory Lacey has our story.
It's that time of year again where students get an opportunity to give back to their community. Angel Tags are a great way to do just that.
Life Office coordinates what we call our Angel Tag program, and that is in conjunction with the Tanninger Place. And these tags are for children who would not otherwise receive gifts for the holidays.
Angel Tags include gender, age, and gift ideas. Last year, Kirkwood filled 400 tags, and the goal this year is 425.
I think it's really important for students here on campus to do it because they're helping a child in need.
Being a student and getting involved in your community can really benefit others.
It's a good opportunity for our students to learn to give back to their community, and so we feel it's real beneficial to everybody. It's a win-win situation.
If you're looking to help a child in need, make sure to pick up your tag before December 3rd. Mallory Lacey, KSP News.
Make sure to find a tree and pick up your Angel Tag between the week of November 8th and going on until December 3rd. That's it for this edition of KSP News.
For all of us at Kirkwood Student Productions, thanks for watching.
Valentine Auditorium is home to a number of musical groups, one of which is the Kirkwood Chorale. The musical styles vary from classical all the way to African chants. All Kirkwood students are welcome to audition. The staff is always prepared to help you succeed. Each performance is open to the general public, and we hope to see everyone at this semester's main concert, 7:30, December 10th, in the Valentine Auditorium.